Testing. I'd just like to say welcome. Thank you for coming to the media conference here. We have an amazing fight this Friday and Saturday. Today you'll see the contestants of the Saturday night fight live on DAZN. Starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. here in Honolulu. I'd just like to talk about the genesis of this event. And really it came from not just Alima saying, please come to Hawaii, I want you to come to Hawaii. And really for us, we love it here, we'd love to be here. But also there was an event about 2 years ago that John Slessor put on here in Pearl Harbor, and it was called Rock the Troops. And The Rock was the star of the show, and it was live at Pearl Harbor. It aired live on Spike, or actually it was a couple weeks delayed on Spike. And it was like a variety show hosted by the USO. Had some great bands, some celebrities. The Rock hosted it. I think they had 45,000 people show up. And they were trying to put it on this year. The Rock wasn't available. Some things happened. I'm not sure, but we said we'd like to be a part of that. So why don't we do a fight on Friday, and then Rock the Troops would be on Saturday. So when it didn't work out, we said, okay, well, why don't we do a fight on Friday for the military, and then we'll do our championship fight on Saturday with Lima. And that's really how we got here. And I said, okay, well, if we're going to do that, let's make it a whole week of festivities. And let's bring Hoist Gracie, let's bring Herschel Walker, let's bring all our great fighters that have contributed. Josh Thompson's here. I see a lot of great names here at the press conference. But let's give back to the community. So this whole week, the guys and some of the girls have been on the base, giving value back to the men and women that serve this country. We were at Schofield Barracks, 2nd Air Force Base, Pearl Harbor, and I think that they went on some amazing journeys with the military. And then yesterday when I went to the Pearl Harbor, they were training the military in self-defense. So here's Hoist and Josh leading class. Herschel was in there mixing it up with a bunch of guys, but 60, 70 soldiers. Having the opportunity to train with Big John McCarthy and all these guys. And so we've been out here all week doing it. And then part of it was the MVP program with Jay Glazer, which Bellator supports. And so really it was Bellator salutes the troops. And really it all came from John Slessor's idea of doing Rock the Troops. So thank you, John. And it's a great feeling to come and give back and give value back to the community. I'm looking forward to seeing all the local talent. This has been an area that I think for many years, even before Super Bowl, before Rumble on the Rock, which I used to come watch all the time and really enjoyed it. T.J. Thompson, J.D. Penn, the Penn family. I was working for K1 at the time. We did a fight at Aloha Stadium when Henzo Gracie fought BJ. Mike Hogan was part of that. But we had a lot of great times here on the island, and the one thing about Hawaii is they bring it. The fighters here bring it. So expect some great fights on the undercard, and we will be watching, and we think there'll be some great talent. This is an event that we'd like to do maybe once a year. Come out here and scout the talent and bring all of our top fighters here to the island and get it on. So anyway, I just want to give you a little bit of a backdrop of this event. And of course, Alima, she did call me, every week saying, hey, you got to come to Hawaii. And we've been working on this, and I didn't really tell her. And so when we were able to put it all together, it worked out nicely. So we're very happy and proud to be here in Hawaii hosting this event, 2 days. And we look forward to hosting some great fights. And at this time, I'd just like to open up for questions to the media.
Scott, I just want to start with you, actually. Back-to-back events here, in Hawaii. It makes sense. You've come all this way, but you're doing back-to-back events, early next quarter as well. So I want to ask, is this a new business model, a new thing that we're going to see more of with Bellator putting on cards on back-to-back nights in markets?
Well, I tell you, when we did the last fight, we learned a lot in the fights that we did in New York and Mohegan Sun. That's tough because we're moving, the staff all around and moving the fighters, and it's very challenging. But, to have it in one location where you can just come in and out and just have it the next day. And one night, I think for Paramount works, and then we'll promote the DAZN fight on Paramount. So it works in that sense, and I think that it's going to be a great weekend here. Again, it's free for the troops on Friday, and the friends and family. I think we gave out a bunch of tickets to friends and families that wanted to come. So there's no admission on Friday night if you have a voucher. And on Saturday, it's open to the general public. The Mohegan Sun is a little bit different. It'll be admission for both nights, but I think it makes it a little easier and it makes a lot of sense if we can do it back to back at the same location.
And you touched on maybe returning here once a year. I mean, do you see Hawaii as, just this place to do this kind of special fight for the troops type stuff, or do you believe this is a market that you want to invest in that can be, a real market for you?
I think at the end of the day, you're gonna do both. We're gonna invest in the marketplace. We're gonna find some talent. We're always looking for the best fighters in the world, and there are some here. I promise you, these kids are gonna perform. Because I've seen it for many years, and we just said, okay, at one point we're going to go. And keep in mind, we announced the fight that we're going to fight our champion Darian Caldwell versus Horiguchi from Ryzen in Tokyo on New Year's Eve. And Sakibar and I were talking about maybe Hawaii might be a good place where you could have a Ryzen versus Bellator, match and do it right here and blow it up. So there's a lot of good things, a lot of good dialogue happening between us and other promotions. And it'll all start on New Year's Eve for the Horiguchi versus Darian Caldwell fight.
Very cool. Thanks, Scott. Look at King Mo, if I could. King Mo, there's so many great fights over these 2 days here in Hawaii that I almost feel like your fight's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. So I'm curious, you've been such a star for this organization for a long time, if you're enjoying kind of sitting back in the back a little bit, or if you feel like the spotlight needs to come back your way.
I don't know. I just came to fight, man. I ain't worried about no spotlight, man. I'm just worried about fighting, winning, getting a check, heading home, chilling, man. That's really it. I know I'm looking forward to seeing some of these fights after I'm done, but I don't care about the spotlight. I just want to win my fight and just have a good time.
Well, sure. And Liam, kind of similar to you, I mean, I do feel like this fight's under the radar a little bit. You've been a big star for this organization as well. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch for you. I wonder, how important this night is for you to get back to winning ways and kind of what adjustments and focus you've had for this evening.
This is an important fight. But I'm the same as Mo, I at this stage now, I've won the title. I'm here to fight. I'm here to put on good shows, good fights, and good performances. Obviously, the last two were not as good as what I'd expected, but now I'm back to where I needed to be, and me and Mo are going to put on a show for you on Saturday night.
Question for Ninoa Dung. I know this is your first time on the big stage, if you will, the dais. There's other lifelong martial artists like yourself, but you're on your journey as well. What's it like to be up here now that you're sitting on the table? Obviously, the fight hasn't happened yet, but what are your feelings about all this?
It's awesome. Shout out to Bellator for having me. I know what I bring to the table. I feel like I brought us to the table, and it's my job to go out there Saturday night and send him back to the prelims.
One question for Scott. You referenced the Rumble and the Rock shows, and of course, people who watch those realize there was some fun production there. Obviously, Bellator does not cut corners when it comes to walkouts and whatnot. But can we expect maybe anything new for normal viewers of Bellator for production?
Yeah, I think that we take pride in our production, and it's no joke when listen, I'm not joking, but it's no when I was working for K1, production was a very big part of the show. And when I came to Bellator, I said we got to change that. We got to make the production a big part of the show. And so I think we have. And I think that under the production restraints, let's say, of the arena, well, we're going to put on a great show and the best show that we can with the size of the venue that we have.
Question for Valerie. Valerie, there's a lot of talk about the pressure being on Alima because she's at home and she's defending the title here, but I think you're the betting favourite in this contest. So does that put the pressure back on you?
No, I have different type of pressure for me. So it's always like I know it's my last chance for, I think, a championship fight. I know because of my age and the time I've been training. So this is my type of pressure. I just, like I said yesterday, I think she has a way busier week than I am. And I can really focus on the fight.
And how does it feel when your opponent's organising this party for like 300 people and the Luau, as it's called, Luau, and she's actually invited you already on the Sunday, you and your family, to her party with the whole of her family. How does that feel going into a fight?
I like it. I like it. We're definitely going to have a drink after this fight, no matter what happened. I think we always respect each other and really have nothing against each other. it's a sport. We're gonna fight. For me, it's a chess game. When I go there, I'm thinking of my technique and what I want to do, and I'm sure it's pretty much the same for her.
And Alima, excuse me, just a question for you. I mean, it seems an obvious question. You know, a very big media turnout today, and you know, the whole of the island. You've had a lot of pressure on you, a lot of build-up. There's a lot of focus on you. How does it feel now? You know, 48 hours out from the event, that you've had to do all these media calls. Is there pressure on you? Are you starting to feel those nerves of performing in front of your own people?
Honestly, no. I thought Fight Week was going to be a lot crazier for Bellator Hawaii, but I've been trying to find things to do in my free time. It just feels weird that I'm not booked more. So yeah, it's been a really, really stress-free fight week so far, and I'm sure more the nerves are going to start sinking in, you know, day of and everything. But right now I'm super chill. It's just, I'm back home. I'm in Hawaii. It's like everything's on Hawaiian time right now.
And at the risk of being thrown off the island, because the British flag, of course, is part of the Hawaiian flag, I'm going to ask Liam a question. Hopefully we won't get thrown off, at least not before the event, Liam. It's quite well documented that you and Mo are kind of, you know, you're friends in many senses, and he likes to wrestle, you're a brilliant grappler. So you're going to both stand and bang in this fight and give us some entertainment? One man definitely going out with a KO in this fight?
I don't know, you just have to wait till Saturday night. You know, he is definitely a good wrestler. I'm all right.
He's claiming he's going to stand with you.
Yo, he's not getting me down. He's going to what? Stand with me.
He's claiming he's going to stand with you before the press conference. He said, no, I'm standing with him.
Oh, man.
One of us has got to get knocked out.
He calls me a pikey, right? I take that
terrible.
as a compliment. You know, have you ever seen Snatch? One Punch Mickey. They'd be calling me One Punch Mickey McGeary if we stand up and bang.
Mo?
What's up?
Are you going to stand with him then?
Man, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to win, but I'll stand with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be Southern style versus the pikey style. We're gonna see who's better.
Thank you.
You never know, I might end up taking you down.
Well, it's all good, man. I got jiu-jitsu too. Where Hoist at? Vouch for my jiu-jitsu. I'm a good white belt. The best white belt. With 2 stripes.
For Lyoto, please. Lyoto, you said you know, you don't plan on just fighting here. You plan on winning the title. So I'm curious. You're sitting next to a belt right there. What's your initial take of this Bellator title belt? How does it look to you?
So good feeling to be here, man. Sitting next to the belt. But of course, I have a tough opponent on Saturday night, and my focus is really in my opponent.
Do you feel beating a former champion would be enough to get you? I mean, I know it's just one fight for Bellator, but do you think that would be enough to get you a shot at the title?
I believe so, because Rafael is a former Bellator champion, so he has a lot of wins, a lot of victories on these events. So I believe that after this fight, I deserve the title, for sure.
Thanks, Lyoto. Now, last Rafael, a lot is being made of Lyoto coming to Bellator. I'm curious, when you were named as the opponent, what your emotion was, and if that's a fight that you wanted right away or just kind of got offered.
Essa luta sua com o Lyoto, o que você está achando? Que estão fazendo um big deal que a luta sua, você e o Lyoto. O que você acha?
Eu acho uma luta muito boa, tanto para mim quanto para ele. Acredito que gostaríamos de estar em situações diferentes, ele defendendo o título ou eu também defendendo o título. Então, tem tudo para ser uma luta muito boa e vamos fazer uma luta muito boa para o público presente.
It's a great opportunity for the both of us, and we're here to give the public a good show. I wish it was a different situation where we could be fighting for the belt, but it's going to be a great show for everybody.
Thank you. Quickly, if I could, for Kona, a big opportunity for you as well. I mean, as it was said earlier with your opponent, you guys are so young in your career, and yet here you are up here with the stars of Bellator, and you're doing it in Hawaii. So I wonder what the emotion is like for you ahead of this fight on Saturday.
Man, I couldn't ask for a better place to be, you know, first time fighting back home, and getting to share the card with all these legends is like, it's a blessing, you know, and getting to put him away is going to be even better.
Very nice. And lastly for me, if I could, for Ed, A lot of people saying, you're the guy to win this thing. You're the guy, even though you're real new in your career, that you're the one that's going to go all the way in this. Do you feel that expectations on yourself? Do you feel that you're ready for those type of challenges, or is this kind of see as you go?
I definitely feel like I'm ready for them. I just want to show everybody what discipline can do, discipline and dedication. And, and they're pegging me for a reason. I've been working my ass off, and I want to show people what all that's going to bring to the table.
Ilima, out of everything you've been through this fight week, taking a photo shoot with the Hawaiian flag on Hawaiian soil, open workout in Waikiki, I know you were here for the weigh-ins earlier, hearing every local name. Of everything so far, what's giving you chicken skin the most?
Probably this room right now because it's really cold and I'm cutting weight and I have like no body fat. I was just telling Valerie earlier, I should have brought a jacket. I'm so cold. No, I literally have chicken skin right now. But I've been saying time and time again that it's going to be the walkout that is going to really, really give me chicken skin. That's going to be the moment. But so far, everything is it's been fun. It's been chill. But the chicken skin moment's going to be at the Blaisdell on Saturday.
And is 50 Cent coming?
He said he was coming when I saw him at the San Jose fight. So I don't know. Scott, is he coming?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, yes.
And for those not from Hawaii, can you just explain what's around your neck right now?
Oh, yes, thank you. So I'm wearing an Ilima lei right now. So this is me. The Ilima flower is actually the flower of Oahu, and it was for the royalty. Sorry, I'm giving you guys a history lesson, cultural lesson, rather. It was considered a flower for the royalty because you need hundreds and hundreds of Ilima flowers to make a lei. So I'm you'll be seeing a lot more of this Ilima lei in the next days to come. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Question for King Mo Lawal. Obviously, Mo, you're a pro, you're a veteran. You don't want to look past your opponent or the challenge ahead. But as far as weight class goes, will the outcome this weekend affect the weight class you compete in the future?
Nah, not really. Because after this, I want Matt Mitchell's bitch ass. That's who I want. You know what I'm saying? That's who I want next, but he's already booked. But hopefully I can make that happen because I don't like his bitch ass. Let that be known. Y'all can tweet that. He's a hoe.
What happened there?
Well, oh, no, he's just mad because I thought that him and Roy Nelson should have an extra round. You know what I'm saying? And he started talking, running his mouth. And after I lost the beta, he started running his mouth some more. And after he got smashed by beta, I didn't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like that. I'm not going to make fun of nobody after they lost. But now, we can make something happen after he gets his ass whipped by Karatanov. If I want to fight him, you know what I'm saying? If I'm winning fights and he's losing, I'm just going to go past him. But if we get a chance to fight, let's make it happen. And he can't duck me because I'm only about 207 pounds. So what's he afraid of? Getting that ass whooped.
Question for Neiman Gracie. Obviously, with Mo Lawal Magiri, we were talking about the wrestling as how that plays a dynamic in the matchup. Obviously, with your matchup with Ed Ruth, wrestling will be a factor depending on how you look at it. Do you have any points that you want to make in this fight as far as the critics or reads, or are you just out to give your best performance you can, Neiman?
I want to give my best performance for sure. Every time I perform, I'm looking for perfection. I'm looking to give my best performance. And of course, I'm going to go and I'm going to try to do my best once again. Not only because it's another fight, but because this fight will take me to the title. And I really want that belt right there.
Yeah, question for Kona and Nainoa. A lot of local fighters on this card. You guys are going to get a chance to do your thing on the big stage. With Bellator maybe coming back here every year, how important do you guys think this is for the local MMA community and just a chance for a lot of you guys to be able to get this opportunity?
Man, can you repeat that question one more time, please?
Just how important do you think having an organization as big as Bellator finally coming to Hawaii, how big do you think it is for just the local MMA community and all the fighters here that might get a chance to do this?
I think it's huge. I think what better way to show the local talent than have a big card like Bellator come to Hawaii? You know, it's really a blessing. You know, they're putting fighters like me and him. You know, we're both young prospects, and we're both gonna go do our thing and put on a show.
For me, I feel like shout out to Bellator. You know, I've been fighting since I was 6 years old, and it took hard work and dedication to get here, but shout out to them for really putting this together. Shout out to Rich for, he's the matchmaker. Shout out to Rich Tro for setting this fight up. I'm about to go out there, showcase the new Hawaii. You know, Max Holloway's doing his thing, BJ did his thing, and I feel like I'm up next.
Scott, obviously you're kind of pioneering or growing the Bellator franchise into Europe as well this year. It's a big move for you. What are the logistics of coming this way, 2,500 miles as well? Is it a bigger operation than taking the whole franchise to Europe as well?
You know, it really is, because when we decided to go expand into Europe and do the fights in Italy and Israel and London and Ireland, we built an infrastructure there, and here we're just starting. So there's not really an infrastructure, and we had to ship a lot of things over in a container, especially our cage. We had to ship our cage over in a container, a lot of the lighting products, and a lot of things that we would just have naturally, you know, available to us, whether we're in Europe or on the mainland. So there was some consideration and some extra cost to come here, but you know, we felt that it was well worth it, and you know, it's something that you know, will continue.
And do you use the ad hoc commission that you use for Europe when you're here as well?
You know what? They have a commission here, so we only use the commission when there's not a commission in the state or the country. But here they have a state athletic commission that governs boxing and mixed martial arts.
It's 10 years since Elite XC had big events here, and you know, KJ Noons and Nick Diaz and Gina Carano and others. Are you surprised, finally, for me, that it's taken a whole decade for as an organisation as big as yourselves to come over here and have a kind of an event with so many great names on and so many great fights?
Yeah, you know what? I am surprised. And 4 years ago when I came to Bellator, you know, we had certain goals and tasks at hand that we needed to get done. And I think that we did, and we started knocking off goals and accomplishments for the company. And now we're a company that's worldwide. And, you know, this is a company owned by Viacom. Viacom is a worldwide media company. We're aired in 163 countries around the world, which this will be aired all over the planet. And some live, some tape delay, some, you know, a week delay. That's just how it's been. But with the DAZN relationship, you know, they'll be able to watch us live in Japan. It'll be live in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Canada, U.S., here. I mean, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be live instantly. So, but in some of the other territories, you'll have to wait a day or two or a week. But this will air, you know, all over the planet. So, you know, this is a you know, Bellator is committed to going to the places that we want to promote in and build, you know, the business and build the talent. And this is a great start, because listen, I've been around the fight business a long time. This is an amazing weekend. This is a fight card collectively that really is going to be hard to match. And when we came here, we said we want to bring our biggest stars and put the fights on them. And our tournament, you know, the welterweight tournament with Ed and Neiman, that's going to be an amazing fight. And Lima and Valerie and having Loyola here for his first time and Rafael. And to check out the local talent, I think this is going to be a great start. And, you know, this is just the beginning.
This question's for Alima. You know, yesterday Valerie spoke about feeling the pressure of her fighting when she fought at home back in the day, and how she did not enjoy her fight week, and how she's happy that she's fighting now, like throughout this fight week, and she doesn't feel that sort of pressure. Do you feel like tomorrow when you get to the Blaisdell, you might feel this pressure that you haven't felt this week yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the type of fighter, the closer it gets to the fight, the more nervous I get, the more anxiety starts to build up. So yeah, I know that when I do get to the Blaisdell, then I'll finally, you know, kind of start feeling that pressure. But I have been telling people that aside from that, I also, on the flip side, don't feel pressure as much from the community, because I know that no matter what happens on Saturday, Hawaii will still have my back no matter what. You know, they don't just fall off the wagon and desert you. They're going to be there for you, and they're ride or dies.
No, absolutely, without a doubt. And if you do feel some sort of anxiety and pressure tomorrow unexpectedly, you know, maybe during the walkout or an hour before the fight, how do you plan on dealing with that?
I have a pretty good poker face. I know Valerie has been saying like she looks so calm in there, but really I'm freaking out internally. So yeah, it's just gonna be poker face Ilima on Saturday.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Question for Rafael Carvalho. You train at Evolu Cao Tai in Brazil. It's a very underrated camp, I would say. A lot of good people, whether names like Vanderlei Silva or Southpaw and Francisco Trinaldo. Was there anybody in particular, coaches or training partners, that was helpful getting ready for an opponent like Machida?
Em particular, todos os meus companheiros de treinos me ajudaram para esse camp para a luta do Lyoto. Então, não posso especificar apenas um, né? Em si, toda a minha equipe ali, o meu treinador, o André Dida, né? Então, todos têm participação especial nesse meu camp para essa luta.
Every trainer and every training partner was a big part of my camp this time, especially André Dida, my trainer. So this was a very special camp.
Awesome. And then just a follow-up, Scott, with the production side. Obviously, you spoke to that and gave us a little teaser there. But just curious, strategizing for this event and doing your homework, did you go back and watch some of those K1 events, whether ones you put on or the Rumble and the Rock events, and kind of take notes as far as, oh, I like that, or I want to do this better? Was there any of those aha moments amongst getting ready for this?
Well, part of that is, we really talk to the fighters, and we have these video rollouts, but the screen and the stage, and that's kind of their own, like that's really up to them. And I think some of the fighters here, you've seen some very creative walkouts in the past, and that's for them to build their own brand and continue, growing, their themselves as a character or as a, whatever they want to do. So I think that you'll see some very creative walkouts from what I hear. I don't know all of them. I just know a few of them. I talked to our producer, but it's going to be, I think, a surprise for everybody.
All right, I think that's it for questions. We're going to do some face-off photos, so just give us one moment.